Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday to you. Um, Today, we are still in Reverend Ike's study guide, and we are reading chapter 28, Be Right Before You Unite. And last week was chapter 27, Spiritual Independence. Okay, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Poet Minor, and every Sunday I read from Reverend Ike's study guide. And my goal is to finish the year reading Reverend Ike's study guide. Okay, be right before you unite. And this I pray that your love may abound more and more in knowledge and in all judgment. Philippians 1:9, a science of living principle. You must be right with yourself before you can be right for someone else. For those of you who are new, Reverend Ike's study guide is Reverend Ike's audio lessons written out. Okay, here we go. I always insist on counseling couples before they get married, and I have found that in too many cases, many people look for someone else to make them happy when they haven't found happiness within themselves. I have found that too many people look to other people for the answer to their problems instead of looking within. You have to get your own house in order before you can set up house with someone else. Before an individual can unite his life with someone else, he or she with someone else, they must be financially, emotionally, and spiritually right with themselves. Romance with finance. So many times young women come to me and say, Reverend Knight, my boyfriend and I want to get married. And the first thing I ask is, does he have a job? Does he have any money? Many times she'll say, no, but we're in love. And I'll say, you try paying the rent with that. Between here and the pearly gates, you need some money, honey. Reverend Knight was a trip. It's a lot easier to love and be loved when you have enough money to pay your bills and meet your needs. It's easier to love and be loved when you have enough food to eat and you don't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from. It's easier to love and be loved when you have plenty of money. Even the Bible tells us money answers all things. Now, this may be hard for some of you to take, but I don't preach any theological fairy tales. I don't teach you about pie in the sky by and by when you die. I teach that everything is better with money, even marriage. Marriage wasn't set up for you to suffer, and you won't get any reward in heaven for a bad marriage. Romance without finance is no good. I'll say that one again. Romance without finance is no good. There is a beautiful young couple who got married a few weeks ago, and I performed their wedding ceremony at United Church in New York City. When they asked me to perform their wedding ceremony, I insisted on counseling them first. The first thing I found out was whether the husband to be was working. Yes, he had a job, and the woman was working too. So you see, one person didn't have to depend on the other financially. I counseled them and gave them some of my positive self motivation teachings. And by the time they got married, both of these beautiful people were self directed and self found. Hmm, I like that. Both these beautiful people were self directed and self found. They had developed a positive belief about themselves and about each other. So I agreed to perform their wedding ceremony. Be right with yourself first. I agree with the popular song that says, I can't be right for somebody else if I'm not right for me. And that's the way it is. When I counsel couples who are planning on marriage, I teach them that you have to be right with yourself first. You have to find yourself first before you can go looking for someone else. When you are right with yourself, then you will draw everyone to you who is right for you. Now, the opposite is also true. If you're wrong with yourself, then you will be constantly drawing the wrong people into your life who will always be doing you wrong. And of course, it's the same with love. You must be right with yourself and love yourself correctly before you can really love someone else. For those of you who are new, whenever I read something that hits me, the Reverend Ike says, I read it again. And here it is. You must be right with yourself and love yourself correctly first before you can really love someone else. And I'll tell you this again, if you love yourself correctly, you will give love correctly and receive love correctly. Find your own happiness. Part of being right with yourself and loving yourself correctly is being happy with yourself. You're only going to find the happiness in other people that you, first of all, have found within your own being. If you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy with anybody else, not even your husband or wife or significant other. I added that myself. And it's a wonderful thing to find someone and to fall in love. But don't think that it is someone else's responsibility to make you happy. Don't give somebody else the responsibility for your happiness. That I'll read again. Don't think that it is someone else's responsibility to make you happy. Don't give somebody else the responsibility for your happiness. And don't blame anyone else for your misery either. Oh, no. And I'm talking to all of you who are already married too. You have to look within yourself first and find your own happiness. Then you can be happy with somebody else. Your happy feelings about yourself will go before you and bring happiness in your life. Get a good start. If you do decide to get married, be sure to get off to a good start. I discovered that too many people get off on the wrong foot because of those old messy words that the theologians put in the wedding ceremony hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Even today, people who are getting married or reciting these words, I take thee to be my lawfully wedded husband or wife, for richer or for poor, for better or for worse, to death do us part. Well, honey, that's a jinx. Who wants to be married for poor? Who wants to be married for work? You can do bad by yourself. You don't need anybody to help you be poor. It's very important that you get a good start by using positive, happy, loving words in the wedding ceremony, because the words that you speak will go forth and bring to you that which you say. The prophet Isaiah understood this when he said, the word that goes forth out of my mouth, it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please. Isaiah 55:11. When I perform a wedding ceremony, I don't recite that old richer or poorer or better or worse jive. I teach you to go into every day with an expectation of good. I teach you to believe in the presence and power of God within as your infinite source of all good. When you go into a marriage positively, when you go into life for richer and for better, this is what you will experience: the riches and the goodness of life, and that more abundantly. So ends the lesson. So Reverend Ike always ends his lessons with an affirmative treatment, which is a form of prayer. So here's the affirmative treatment. Take a moment to pause and breathe. And here it is. Right here and right now, I resolve to love myself correctly. I know that I must be right with myself before I can be right with someone else. I see myself as a whole, happy, and healthy individual. I let the love of God in me radiate from me. The love of God in me draws me to all the right people for every right purpose. Because I am right with myself, everyone and everything is compelled to be right with me. Thank you, God, and me. So be it, and so it is. So that's the lesson for today. That's chapter 28. Be right before you unite, from Reverend Ike Study Guide. And you can get Reverend Ike Study Guide at ReverendIkeLegacy.com. Have an amazing Sunday. Have a great week. And I'll see you all next week. Be right with yourself. Bye for now.